Some people find solace in meditation. Some people find solace in yoga. And then there's me, who finds it in a tiny turtle worm mold creature with anxiety eyes and a shell that looks like a rejected McDonald's Happy Meal toy. Yep, that's right. Today we're talking about Shuckle. You know, every once in a while the universe gives us something so strange, so weird, so stupid, so unnecessary, that it loops all the way back around to being somehow comforting and profound. And honestly, with the current state of the world, which, let's be honest, still kinda sucks, I think Shuckle is exactly the kind of energy that we need right now. Because while everything around us is loud, fast, chaotic, and stressful, Shuckle is the embodiment of, I ain't moving, I ain't helping, and I ain't participating in any of that bullcrap you got going on right now. And honestly, same. We live in a culture that is obsessed with speed. Speed reading, speed dating, speed running, speed taxes. I don't know, I'm running out of examples right now. But Shuckle refuses. Shuckle's the Pokemon equivalent of that friend who shows up 3 days late to the group chat and responds to everything with LOL. Or even worse, that freaking yellow thumbs up. Anyway, Shucky don't care, and I respect that, because sometimes we all need a reminder that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take your time. It's okay to be as intimidating as a wet noodle but have the emotional defense stats of a fortified medieval castle. Now, if you grew up with Gold and Silver version like I did, then you already know where this is going. That's right, Shucky. If you're not familiar, there's an NPC in Cianwood City who gives you a Shuckle for safekeeping after all his other Pokemon are stolen. Yeah, he just hands you this little guy like he's giving you a cursed object from a horror movie. Please take care of Shucky. Sir, what happened? Are you okay? And then you check its stats and realize, oh man, this thing is built like a tank made of anxiety and drywall. I remember actually trying to use this thing in a playthrough when I was like 9 years old before I realized that it actually sucks. But on purpose. Meanwhile, Shucky's just sitting there silently fermenting berries in its shell like a tiny Pokemon moonshiner. Yeehaw! And yes, I kept it. And yes, I kept its name as Shucky in all caps because that's the law. But Shuckle is one of those Pokemon that just shouldn't work. It shouldn't be memorable, it shouldn't be iconic, it shouldn't have a cult following. And yet, here we are. Because Shuckle is the perfect storm of absurd stats, absurd lore, absurd design, absurd competitive memes, and absurdly adorable vibes. It's like Game Freak said, what if we created a Pokemon that's either the weakest thing ever made, or the strongest, most fearsome creature in the entire franchise, depending on how cursed the player's feeling today. So let's talk about Shuckle's stats, because let me tell you, Shuckle is built different. Shuckle actually has the highest defense in the entire series, the highest special defense in the entire series, the lowest attack of any fully evolved Pokemon, the lowest special attack of any fully evolved Pokemon, and speed so low it might as well be negative. So basically, Shuckle's built like a brick wall that somebody glued spaghetti arms onto. And yet, this thing can theoretically deal the strongest attack in Pokemon history. And I'm not kidding. With enough setup, using Power Trick, Helping Hand, items, Divine Intervention, Shuckle can hit numbers so high that they break calculators. It's like watching a sloth bench press a car. For example, just by using the move Power Trick, which swaps the attack and defense stats, Shuckle can temporarily achieve a base attack stat of 230. And if that were permanent, it would be the highest attack stat of any Pokemon ever. Yes, even including Mega Mewtwo X. Which is hilarious considering that Shuckle has the lowest base attack of any bug or rock type Pokemon. Only two others, Happiny and Chansey, have lower base attack stats. Is it practical? Absolutely not. Is it hilarious? Yes. Is it peak goofy Pokemon energy? 100%. The people who have used Shuckle competitively have probably gone through the same three phases. Number 1, wow, Shuckle has insane defenses, it must be amazing. 2, oh, it has no recovery, no offenses, and it gets taunted into oblivion. Number 3, never mind, it's funny so I'm running it anyway. Shuckle's competitive history is basically a roller coaster that only goes down. It's been useless in OU, annoying in lower tiers, a meme in doubles, a hazard setter that dies slowly, a stall that also dies slowly, A power trick sweeper that dies instantly, and yet people still use it. Because Shuckle players aren't playing to win, they're playing to make their opponent question their life choices. And when it comes to Shuckle's lore and design, things get even weirder. Because Shuckle's design is something. It's part turtle, part worm, part fungus, part anxiety, part IKEA furniture. Its eyes look like it just witnessed a crime. Its limbs look like uncooked pasta. And then there's the berry juice lore. Shuckle ferments berries inside its shell. And when you get Shucky in gold and silver, guess what item it's holding? Berry juice. Yeah, fermenting juice. As in wine. Shuckle is actually a tiny alcoholic brewery.
I'm on the air, man. I'm on the air.
Also, there's evidence to show that Shuckle's design may be alluding to snake wine. Which, yes, is exactly what it sounds like. I wish I could go back to yesterday before I knew that snake wine was a thing. There's even an old rumor that Shuckle can make rare candies by fermenting berries for long enough, which is both adorable and mildly concerning. But from what I can tell, this is completely a myth. But it is on a Cerebi page, so there's that. Let me know if you've ever seen this happen in real life. So yeah, here's the thing. Shuckle's funny, Shuckle's weird, Shuckle is a meme. But Shuckle is also kind of inspiring. Hear me out. Shuckle isn't fast, Shuckle isn't strong, Shuckle isn't flashy, Shuckle isn't popular, Shuckle is not winning any tournaments. And yet, the Shuckle endures. Shuckle survives. Shuckle persists. Shuckle takes whatever the world can throw at it and just sits there. And honestly, we can learn from that. In a world of constant striving and constant motion, Shuckle reminds us that it's okay to take it slow. It's okay to be weird. It's okay not to fit the mold. It's okay to take your time. Because sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is just keep going. Even if your attack stat is 10. I think that's why Shuckle stuck with me all these years. Back in the gold and silver days, Shuckle wasn't just a weird side quest. It was this tiny, unexpected companion during a very formative time. And even now, as an adult with bills and responsibilities in a world that feels like it's constantly on fire, there's something reassuring about this little creature who refuses to rush, refuses to stress, and refuses to be anything other than exactly what it is. Shuckle is basically the Pokemon equivalent of a weighted blanket. So there's my love letter to Shuckle, a Pokemon of extremes. A cute little fella that reminds us that sometimes our greatest weaknesses can become our greatest strengths. A tiny yellow noodle turtle that in my opinion should be next on the list for a new Mega Evolution. Oh, did you think I was kidding? Here's an artist's rendering of what Mega Shuckle would look like. Make it happen or I'm getting out the protest signs. Hey y'all, really appreciate you checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, do me a favor, give it a like, be sure to subscribe, and stay tuned for more Pokemon content coming really soon. A tiny yellow noodle turtle, that is so hard, totals.